morning world. I know we've talked about adult ADHD in the past, but today I wanted to take a quick moment and talk about tips for helping a child who suffers from ADHD. Generally, they do work with therapists who help them develop some skills to help them manage the disorder. But these are just 5 little things that a parent can do to help the child manage their ADHD, whether or not they are seeing a therapist, and especially if they are not working with a therapist. First is interest them in eating healthy as well as in healthy snacking. This means trying to make food, healthy food, more fun, because they don't have the sugar. The healthy food doesn't have the sugar, it doesn't have the salt that the other stuff has, but there are things you can do to make it healthy, to make it more interesting to the child. Things like, I know I've seen a tool where it cuts vegetables into shapes and whatever it is that you need to do to make the food more fun for the child, so that the child's a little bit more interested in the healthier food. I've seen you could blenders. There are a lot of blenders that are out there that you can use where you teach the child to make homemade ice cream that's a little bit healthier than the stuff you would buy at the store. Things like that. 2, build energy outlets into their day. Children these days go to school and are expected to spend a full 6, 7, 8 hours of being in the class, where they have, I think it's like a 20-minute recess now, if they have that, and then lunch. And even at lunch, they're not really able to do everyday kid things of running around, because lunch is seated at a table, no talking and all those things. Actually, I don't know if they have no talking, but you're expected to be a lot more like in the classroom than if you were outside playing. So build outlets into their day. Opportunity for the child to walk, opportunities for the child to run, opportunities for them to move about and kind of get energy flowing and release some of the energy that's building up while they're being little adults. 3, teach the child to recognize triggers and predict episodes. This means that teaching them to understand when they're getting fidgety, when they're getting restless, what does it look like when they're about to get restless? What does it look like when they need a break? What does it feel like? So that they can notice when they are going to need a break and figure out how and get to a break before they get themselves detention or something like that. And of course, recognizing triggers for them to help them understand these are the things that will throw them off task, so that they can again try as much as their little bodies can to avoid some of these things. 4, teach them self-calming techniques. There are things that you can teach a child, such as helping them learn to breathe, do deep breathing, and helping them doodling. Sometimes, we don't really want kids, especially I know teachers don't want kids doodling all day, but there are things that they may be able to do in the classroom or wherever it is that they are expected to be seated and be quiet. There are things that they may be able to do that help them get back on task, and kind of self-calming techniques. Just teach them those. And finally, help them develop impulse control skills. These would be things like stop, look, listen, 1, 2, 3, 4, that whole the counting off before you do things like that would help them think about what they're doing before they jump in and do it. And that's enough for the day, right? 1, interest them in healthy eating as well as healthy snacking. Make healthy food fun for them. 2, build energy outlets into their day. Give the child an opportunity to have a couple breaks here and there, do something fun, to break up the day of hard work. 3, teach them to recognize triggers as well as predict episodes, so that they know what sets them off, as well as when they're at that point where they need a break, when they're at that point where they need to go let off some of the energy of the day. And 4, teach them self-calming techniques, things like deep breathing, closing your eyes to take a kind of like small, minor, really child-fitting meditation type things. And finally, help them learn impulse controls, things like stop, look, listen, counting off, and things of that nature that a child can manage. And yep, that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.